Ball State opens up Mid-American Conference play this weekend against Central Michigan on the road with head coach Mike New. Coach, how was the energy to start off this week in practice?
I thought it was good. Obviously, we had some good competitive periods today to sandwich in between some scout periods there, and wanted to see guys competing and obviously challenging each other and making sure that the energy and the effort was the way it needed to be on the practice field.
You talk about compete. How do you want to see your team compete on a week-to-week basis in the practice game after a game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the practice needs to be hard, man. You need to come out and you need to lay it on the line in practice in order to prepare yourself to play in that game on Saturday. You get one a day, they go fast. You got about 2 hours where you're together here on the practice field, so you got to make the most of it. Obviously, we're attacking base game plan here today on both sides of the ball, and obviously implementing our plan for our special teams goes as well. So everybody's got to be locked in, and the next guy's got to be ready to go because it comes unannounced when your number's called. You got to be ready.
How have you seen the energy so far this week in practice?
Hey man, I see we rebounding after a tough week, but it's picking up. We're gonna be there, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
What are some of those small things that you're working on this week to get ready for Saturday?
We looking at splits from receivers. All the little indicators that make the big difference that the fans may not see, but I see, and that's going to eventually lead to plays being made on Saturday. So splits, alignments, all the little details.
How about the DBs as a group?
We competing. That's all I can ask for. Competition, we competing. So just keep competing and being on body, and plays gonna get made.
Tanner, how have you seen the energy be in practice so far this week?
Week one of MAC play, everyone's just ready to go. We know what this conference brings, and we're just ready to go.
How are you seeing the team work on the small details this week?
Just honing in the film room, really working on the details, correcting mistakes urgently, and just getting on top of it and wanting to execute your job to the best ability.
You mentioned the word urgency. How do you balance the urgency with then slowing things down when you get on the practice field to make sure everything's going well?
When you urgently correct a mistake, you go out there and you naturally play slower because you know what you got to do. It makes the game slow down, it just naturally does. So when you know your job, you know versus different looks what you're going to get and what your job is, it's naturally slower. You could trust your instincts a lot more.
How do you take that to heart as a tight end?
I'd take it to heart completely because coming in playing as a freshman, you got to urgently correct everything. You're learning the game fast, and playing as a junior now with all the reps I've gotten, the game is a lot slower, and I want to just instill that in the young players that once you get it down, you could play ball and you could be the athlete that you want to be.
When you look at the Central Michigan defense, what do you see?
They got some good players. They play hard, a lot of base stuff, but we're going to scheme them up. We're going to play hard, and we just got to play more physical.